Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We got ourselves a best of 5 here between Shopify Rebellion's BYUN playing against Shopify? No, Onside Gaming Solar in the top left side of the map. It's a Terran vs Zerg match, and for a couple $100 on the line. This is the Matcherino iNu show match series number 1. So since Alpha X did disband, it seems like iNu has gone on his own way as a former member of that team and has said, you know what, all these amazing show matches that we host over on Africa, let's find some new sponsors for it, let's go. And has started hosting some show matches with Matcherino backing them up. So we get to see ourselves a nice little series of matches here. And best of 5 between Solar and BYUN. I mean, it's the head-to-head that just keeps going back and forth, right? I love watching these guys play because the number of times that, you know, BYUN wins 3 in a row, you think he's dominant, Solar beats him 3 times in a row. It just always goes back to 50-50 in the end of it. I'll give a quick Google here to see the up-to-date results on that and see if it's actually shifted at all. Because I remember last time I looked, someone managed to get to 52% win rate in the head-to-head between these two. And that was probably the biggest swing, the most one-sided it's been in a long time. They've played, of course, hundreds of times because they both are grinders that play online tournaments pretty much every single day. I mean, I could host a tournament tomorrow for like $33. I'm pretty sure if I message BYUN and Solar, they'll say, yeah, we're down, we'll play. It's kind of wild. Right now, BYUN is actually down. He's actually ahead in maps. Funnily enough, 221 wins in maps and 211 losses for BYUN. However, in series score, he's 65 wins, 68 losses. So he's actually only 49% win rate. Solar's just above 51%, 51.13% technically. So really cool to see. Still maintaining that 50-50 between the two. Always a good match. And BYUN, of course, he's found some interesting results recently. Some really action-packed games he had in GSL last season. Very, very close Zerg versus Terran versus DRG, I think, was one of those nail-biters where you think BYUN should be kind of on another skill level to DRG, but man, that was very close. BYUN a specialist in 2 base timings, but of course he's rounded himself out with some pretty decent late game play lately. I still would favor Solar going into the late game though, unless BYUN has a big advantage. Reaper comes in here for the tax, does get 1 Zergling, and that last 2 Zerglings that Solar builds does stop him from having to do a Spork Roller trick, but here we go. Oh, another Zergling goes down. Queen pops out and she will defend. Oh, BYUN, nice focus fire. Solar does focus the weak Reaper, forces them to retreat there, but the 3rd Reaper's about to arrive as well, and BYUN happy to dance on the dangerous area. Oh, he's going to lose a Reaper for that. He gets a creep tumor, but he went a bit too deep, and that's going to cost him. Tech Lab and a reactor here, now being used as part of the wall off. 3rd Command Center is on the way behind it. Looks like the classic follow-up. 3rd Command Center, then a factory and a starport for the double drop quite a little bit down the track. BYUN going in and just continuing to harass the queens and wound them, but not really getting any big damage. And Reapers do so little damage against buildings that hatchery is not a very viable target. Queens do get pushed off creep a little. There are 3 queens out right now. Where's the 3rd one, guys? Oh, looks like that unit count was already countering this queen, even as she popped out of the hatchery. I like to imagine that queen squeezing out of the hatchery. It comes out the top and then slides down one of these. I like to think these are like almost like little water slides, you know? Slides, pops out the top, slides down, and goes, woo! Out of a little bit of Jim Carrey popping out of the hippopotamus. Was it a hippo or a rhino? I think it was a rhino from, what's that? Ace Ventura 2? Add a little bit of that imagery for anyone old enough to remember that. And yeah, you're sharing the same mental image as me right now. It's pretty gross. Drones coming out towards the 3rd base as we watch this. 2 more queens. Have we got back on gas yet? So it looks like Solar, just 1 worker back on gas so far. Wow, this is very late to go back on gas. Did he lose an Overlord there? Looks like he must have. Yeah. So I guess he sent that into Scout. Did he see anything with it? Oh no, it looks like the Marines just managed to catch the Overlord. So he does build a lot of Overlords, sees some Marines pushing out right now. It's more of a fake out than anything, as the starport's just started. This has all been about SCV production, dropping mills as the priority. This pressure's just trying to scare Solar into making army, but he's actually continuing drones. He builds a few more drones to rally onto gas in the main base. Hasn't taken any extra gas or a 4th base yet. Very low on Zerglings, but I think that is the correct amount of greed. This shows a lot of confidence to have a pack of Marines with Stim on your doorstep and to not react. Very well played. The Overlord. Oh, Solar not positioning his Overlords correctly on these pillars. Loses an Overlord for free there. A little unfortunate. Does get supply block. Bailina, second and third gas are on the way. And with how slow he was to put back on gas, you can see that he is absolutely starving for tech. Solar's done a good job of keeping his 3 base mineral income up, but he is going to have to go back to droning to fill out these gases as they go down. Double engineering bay does start here after the medevacs, so we'll go into 1-1 upgrades. Combat shield's actually very early for BYUN. Usually I see Terran players not really wanting to stand and fight until they've got you know, a lot more marines, so they go for 5 barracks before going combat shields. But BYUN has decided, no, I've got a lot of marines here. I very well may decide to force a fight with the first medevacs. He can always save most of the marines. 16 of them can get picked up, so he can commit that way. And combat shields giving plus 10 hit points is of course a big boon. Oh, he's actually going to lose an SCV. BYUN, oh my god, BYUN, don't lose 2 SCVs. Oh my god, he moved that marine, but it's slightly too far away. BYUN, wake up, wake up, wake up, BYUN! Oh my god, okay, finally the marine does notice, but the Zergling got target fired and gets 3 SCV kills. Oof. Uncharacteristic mistake there for BYUN. Looks like he's still got 2 Reapers alive left over from the early game, guys. They are out on that left watchtower. Marines stim in. They clear creep on the right side, as well as getting yet another Overlord. Still plenty of active tumors up the middle and on the left side. Solar does not have his lair done yet, though. So no baneling speed for a little while. Queens are quite far out. He wants to fight in this area, does Solar, because there's still creep here. He's going to need to replace these tumors sooner rather than later. Lingbane comes in. That stim will wear off in a moment. BYUN waits for the last possible second. Actually, kind of messes up in his pickup. Does lose quite a few marines. Units lost tab shows that that is in BYUN's favor, but not massively so. Keep in mind, his 3rd, 4th, and 5th barracks are only now under construction. So he's kind of gone into that a little bit late. That's the nature of one of these 2 barracks openings. You can still build a decent economy, but your extra production is slowed down. So losing those units took you a while to build up. Not the best situation. 10 marines have gone down in total. Info chambers are looking like a tempting target, but BYUN knows it's such a high risk going for those. Instead, he just grabs 4 drones, the nice fragile targets that are a little bit more guaranteed damage, and we'll get out of there. Good harassment by him, keeping Solar busy. And Solar is focusing on this left side of the map. I imagine he's going to open these minerals and take this soon. Actually, no. Zergs always take the front hatchery because they like indefensible, terrible bases up the middle. I don't think it's the worst. I mean, the purple gas is amazing, but I do think you should take that base pretty soon after as well, because it's hard to make sure you can hang on to this. Good creep spread for Solar. He's going to defend the right side. Another thrust coming for BYUN on the left. That second medevac barely escapes there. And he's just going to wait to unload those marines until the Lingbane pulls back. The tanks have such disgusting corners they can get in on this map. But there's a lot of Lingbane. Only 75 drones right now for Solar. I think he wants to wait for 1-1. Baneling speed does kick in. Another 30 seconds till 1-1. If you can avoid fighting till then, it's going to be very good. Marines do pick up. Looks like the rally does chase away those Zerglings. They spot the macro transition just beginning. 4th command center started. 2nd factory on the way. And if I was Solar, I'd either be thinking, okay, let's get aggressive and punish him before that kicks in, or let's build another 10 drones. For now, though, these siege tanks are causing problems. And that central base gets cancelled. Not particularly surprised by that. I do feel he really needs to mine these minerals and start taking that hatchery, though. Getting stuck on 4 bases on 1,700 minerals right now. What is Solar doing, guys? Solar does not have a 5th base. He's injecting decently, but he's not injecting the macro hatchery. And he's floating a lot of money. Uncharacteristic. The last time I saw Solar miss macro in his Zerg vs. Terran is... I don't know when. 2015? It's a long time ago. It was when he was a very inexperienced player compared to how good he is these days. 2-2 upgrades are started up for both sides. We've got a 20-second lead, maybe more about 10-15 seconds for BYUN on those upgrades. This tank's going to try to wedge itself in that corner. BYUN realizes that might be a little bit too far forward. And he's got a good section of units at home as well, making sure he can't get flanked. Oh, look at that. Look at this setup. Oh my god, BYUN is just turning this whole left side of the map into a no-go zone. This is beautiful play by BYUN, the setup. Just don't go too far forward with those marines. If he gets too eager and abandons his tanks, that's where he gets in trouble. Hive starts up for Solar. Solar's still floating almost 2k minerals. This is super uncharacteristic for him, and it's going to hurt. He doesn't know about these marines and tanks. He comes in for what he thinks is a flank, and he runs into units that are pretty well set up for it. That tank on the bottom is going to be excellent. Getting a lot of hits down there, but the marines need to pick up, right? Oh my god, the Banelings are on to pick up. BYUN playing so risky. So risky, but he saves 24 marines. There's 3 more tanks behind that. This should be an easy hold for BYUN. But as I say that, Solar took a second thinking about it, then realized there was more tanks than he thought. Does pull back. good decision. And BYUN is going to move to the right. Now, this is interesting because I always thought this middle base would be quite good for Terran, but I think it's because it's got so many big wide open areas around it. The Terran prefers to pull back there and then have this choke point on the right and then this choke point there and this choke point here. None of those are easy areas for Zerg to attack into. BYUN does get ambushed by Solar, does save most of those units, and we'll pull those away. Meanwhile, Marine attack coming down the left side, only a single tank. He's got one in the back on the high ground. If this tank can get forward there as well, you can see how good this map is for siege tank positions. Look at how far that reaches. Solar still refusing to take this base on the right, even though it is so easy to defend. You can tell he's basically saying, I want to dominate this front and bottom left side of the map, the middle bottom left. It's not working out for him so far, though. He's already lost the rich gas base once. Now he's going to lose the sixth base. No. BYUN's not targeting. Oh my god, BYUN was going to get the upgrade, but he didn't target it. Oh no, he doesn't deny +2 melee. Solar getting very lucky there to not lose that upgrade. Seconds from it finishing. BYUN marching forward. 2-2 versus 2-2. Viper is on the field, not Vipers. Solar's going to need to find a way to get in on this. I feel like a backstab is probably necessary. Either that or one big crushing engage, but these tanks that he always has layered behind it are a problem. Nice start to engage for Solar. Gets rid of 2 tanks very quickly. The tanks are being focus fired on the Banelings by BYUN. The Banelings unable to connect with the Marines. He does get the front rank of Marines down. Solar continuing a move across the map, does decide to pull back and rally up, but he is far behind in this game. The units lost tab is 2-1 in favor of BYUN. And think about how good BYUN was on Data C. Think about how good he was on Berlingrad. You give this man a map with good tank spots, and he will show you the meaning of efficient Marine tank play. Neo-Humanity is just that, and I feel like that's why this map is turning into a map you want to veto versus BYUN. I think you can play Royal Blood. Maybe not Royal, maybe Royal Blood in this map. I don't know what other maps you'd want to be vetoing, but I think definitely get rid of this map. Solar probably did veto Royal Blood, I would imagine. And in the top right, redrop there. Did deny that Evo chamber, so there is no +3 melee on the way. Fire is still spreading forward. It's only a small force, but Solar just doesn't know that. And look at these tanks on the back. My god, the tanks are getting so many kills before they go down. The bio can always pick up and get out of here. Amazing starter step. Siege tank does get abducted to the low ground. Banelings finally find a hit. But look at that. That Marine drop is still going. Finally picks up and pulls back. Solar. Oh, he's going to find the tanks. Okay, that's a good pickup. BYUN has to save what he can and get out of there, I believe. He's bringing more units forward. Instead, he's just going to stutter step. He's still got tanks on the far left and the far right. That is a 31 kill siege tank down there on the watchtower. And Solar just needed to find a way to counterattack. He could not be fighting into these defensive setups on the map. I mean, they're kind of forward defensive setups, but with where these tanks are set up, it's just way too efficient. BYUN absolutely blitzing through Solar, maintaining almost 2-1 units lost ratio the entire game. Beautiful tank positioning by BYUN. All right, let's go. Game 2 is on Babylon. Not a good map for Solar. Kind of makes me wonder, who's picking the maps? Why have we got a Terran map into a Terran map? Did Solar pick Neo-Humanity, perhaps, thinking that is good for Zerg? I've definitely seen Zergs find success there, but here on Babylon, it is definitely one of the preferred Terran maps. So a bit of a bummer that Solar lost that one. I do really, truly believe in how strong those pushes up the middle have always been on that map. And that's why I'm always staggered that Zerg players are taking the rich gas base. To me, it just looks like it's such an easy base to kill. And so often it barely starts mining and then it has to get killed and the workers have to get transferred. So not a big fan of Solar's expansion pattern in that last game. I understand that, you know, pushing all your bases forward on one side of the map makes it a bit easier to defend from drops and harassment. But I don't think drops and harassment are your problem on Neo-Humanity. It's slow frontal pushes with tanks in really dirty positions. Because as we saw, even when Solar tried to flank BYUN's army, he was not able to get an angle from behind because BYUN had prepared for it. He knew that would eventually come, and he just had extra tanks layered behind. Now, this is interesting. It's a low-ground barracks, but no second barracks. Just a single barracks opening on the low ground. No Marine, just going to go for the Reaper. Now, this Reaper obviously is going to be getting across the map a few seconds earlier, so maybe just hoping to do this to try to get 1 or 2 drone kills. He also then has an easier wall-off on the natural, keeps him safer versus Ling run buys. But I've seen a lot of Zergs, when they spot this low-ground wall-off, actually go for a big all-in. Solar, though, paranoid about proxy barracks. He sent his first Overlord over here. He's only now sending it across the map. And his second Overlord is stationed outside his natural. So he's not going to get any warning of this. And maybe, just maybe, he'll notice that the Reaper's a bit earlier than it should be. Let's go to Solar's camera. See if his camera snaps over there the moment he sees this Reaper or not. Does see the blue dot on the minimap. Nope. Doesn't snap to it. He's just bouncing around his camera locations. No doubt Solar has seen that Reaper on the minimap. But he's just going to continue his build as always. 6 Zerglings, 2 Queens. Get the Overlord going, and that 28th third hatchery will be coming. Looks like the good old Clash opening. Very solid build order. That is favored by most of the best Zerg players in the world in CVT these days. Don't know who gets credit for inventing that. Was it Lambo? A laser? Pretty sure it was before Raynor was on Clash. Alright, what do we got, guys? Extra Queens starting there. 2 Queens are out. 3rd one on the way. Link speed going as well. We've still got a 3rd command center up in the main. 2nd barracks. My god. And a 3rd barracks. Okay, BYUN. What are you doing? BYUN has gone 1 racks low ground wall off into 3rd command center. And is now going for 2nd and 3rd barracks. He's going for raw mass marine play to start. And it's a small map. It can be kind of claustrophobic dealing with this. The immobility, the lack of the ability for Hellions to run in and out across the map. The fact that Marines are slower than that it's not so bad when it's a small map. If you're on altitude, it's terrible, but on a small map, not too bad. The Reaper there and the Queens hanging out with the pair of Urubus. Urubu, who are you? Urubu. Queen Needle on you. Reaper not too happy about that. Oh my god, BYUN actually got that. 4 hit point Reaper. Gets a creep tumor. Solar. Oh, Solar just killed the Urubu. GG. Guys, the curse of the Urubu. I always talk about it. Whoever kills the Urubu has a 100% chance of losing this game. I haven't really paid attention to the series overall, but that means we're going to see a 2-0 advantage for BYUN. You might think, was this coded into the game? Maybe it is, because honestly, I see this every time someone kills the Urubu, they kill the critter, they lose. Now, I'm talking tournament pro matches. I know people have sent me ladder games where it doesn't happen. I'm like, doesn't matter. Not a pro match. You send me a pro game in a tournament where they kill the Urubu and still win, I will be shocked. I have not seen it. Ling's running in and out. Sees a good big pack of Marines. 36 workers. Triple Mule is dropping. 2nd gas is only now coming in, so it's been a super mineral focused build. Because he's got stim and shields. Yeah, okay. I was about to say he should go factory for medevac mobility, but double engineering bay needs to go down pretty soon as well. So he's going to need a little bit more gas for that, is BYUN. Solar's on 48 drones, 6 Queens, about to go to 8 Queens. Baneling Nest in the natural. That Baneling Nest positioning, not bad for helping it block Hellion run-bys, but it can go down later on. It's not the most vulnerable position. It's pretty safe. Just very occasionally you see that come into play. Reaper sees the 4th base start, jumps into the main base. Queen pushes it back, but seeing no lair is quite important. This tells BYUN you're not going to have Baneling speed until about 8 minutes, right? Because you've got to make a lair. That takes a minute. And then you start Baneling speed, which takes another 80 seconds on top of that. So it's at least about 2.5 minutes from 5 minutes until you've got Bane speed. So 7:30 at the earliest. And BYUN says, well, guess what? I'm going to shove. My Marines are moving across this map. There's 24 Zerglings, but that is a big pack of Marines. Stim is done. Shields is done. 4th base will not be defensible. Solar should try to bait a stim or 2 out of him, so at least BYUN has to pay something for it, even if it's just some hit points. You don't want to actually lose the Queens. The drone goes down. Hatchery gets cancelled. 1 Queen has fallen. Lingbane will hold on for it now. He's got to get that back up and some more hatcheries, because Solar's production is really going to hurt from that. Meanwhile, 4th and 5th barracks is on the way. Double Engineering Bay have started 1-1. Those upgrades are already 35 seconds complete when the Evos are just starting for Solar. Solar's tech is not looking too flash hot. Baneling speed needs to start up very soon. There we go. He does it very quickly. And he will have that finishing by about 7:25. So very good Baneling speed timing considering how late the lair was. Solar goes for the 4th base in the top right. Looks like this base did get denied. Seeing those Marines there, he didn't feel safe taking it. Siege tanks building for BYUN. Not going to be going for Widow Mines. It's a small map, so there are some good tank spots. However, Widow Mines are amazing versus Zergling Baneling. Tons of reactors building all at once right now in that main base. He's got all 4 reactors going up. And in fact, because he got Stim and Shield so early, he's actually lifted the barracks off the tech lab, so he can build a 2nd factory on that tech lab, or one of his extra barracks later on when he's going into Marauders and then Ghosts. But nice efficiency from BYUN, just saying, I want as much Marine production as possible right now. That's my focus. That is my goal. Other than the Urubu curse, Solar's not far behind in this game. I'd say he's okay. But it's just the raw number of Marines in the first few battles. I think the real risk is Solar not realizing how greedy this build was, how much stuff BYUN has. So if he kind of takes a fight, assuming the numbers are less than they are, that's where things can turn really badly for him. Solar may have good enough game sense to realize it was a greedy build. That remains to be seen though. Marines double dropping the back to base. Spore Crawler's there. Drone's trying to pull out. Spore's going to shuffle over. Marines will just click on that. Some of them not quite in range. Still only gets one shot off. And ooh, those Lings ain't going to get anything done. Those medevacs need to move over the top. And nice hot pickup saves all of those. Marine tank moving down the right side. BYUN, he's thinking about where to push. He's realized this is way too far forward. He's going to put his tanks on the high ground. Put one tank there, and then you want to put one tank up there. He's actually changed his mind. He's decided to put both tanks far forward. Interesting. Did not think he was going to be quite so ambitious, but he is. Solar spots that siege tank there. Does he jump on it? He's distracted because the drop's still going in behind his bases. Marines are going to stem forward, take out some queens. BYUN's got to be very careful. Solar backing away right now. Oh my god. The Lings are running into the meat grind. Banelings arrive, force the hot pickup. BYUN ain't done yet. He goes third to natural, natural to third. Third back to the natural again. Marines shoving in the top right as well. Solar's giving it up. He just cannot quite stabilize. The Marines keep wedging themselves in corners. The Banelings aren't quite there. The Queens keep all getting pulled in the wrong location. And man, 4 Queens have died, 40 Zerglings. And this is like a 5-to-1 units lost ratio. He catches those Queens in the middle as well. There's only 3 Queens left in this game. That dropship does finally go down. There's only an empty one left. But BYUN has done the damage. 1,400 resources lost for 3,850. That is devastating in favor of BYUN. He's got a second factory. No, he's just going straight 8 barracks and 4th command center. He wants to just play single tank production, non-stop onslaught of bio, but he is progressing his command center count at the same time. That medevac's trying to get out of there. A few Marines left in the top right to come in later. And 2-2 upgrades. Hydra's pumping on out. 6 of them are on the field. More producing. The infestation pit only now beginning for Solar. Solar's a little far behind the curve right now. Feels like BYUN has woken up this day with a pep in his step and has decided the order of the day. You know, you sit there, you think, what do I want to achieve today? What are my goals? And I think BYUN's was murder the heck out of some Zerg. Make Solar want to feel very sad. Up on the very top of his list there. +2 armor did start before attack upgrade. I thought BYUN had fixed that mistake, but it looks like it still creeps in once in a blue moon. Marines are spreading forwards here. Siege tank's nicely sieged. Ling Bane. If he wants to engage this, I feel he needs to fully encircle this army. Just from one side might not be enough. Solar's looking ready for it, though. He's setting up his Ling Bane. BYUN's trying to pull back at least the Marine section of his army. But by golly, his drop is just disgusting. And Solar, oh god, he's stumbling in here. He didn't realize how far back the army was. BYUN just setting up these engagements and letting Solar come to him. Those tanks still sieged up. The Marines are in a great big ball. The tank's in a nice line off creep here. I'd like to see this other tank siege on this left side. One of them does. The other will, no doubt, shortly. And this positioning is brutal. Solar cannot fight here. But he also can't give up this base. Losing his third would be a disaster. Oh, Ling's getting baited in on the left by those Marines. Some big tank shots do land. BYUN his max. Solar is not. And Solar makes the wise decision. Gives up the base. Worse than 2-to-1 cost trading for Solar. But his Hive's almost here. His 2-2's going to catch up. He'll be even on upgrade soon. Does have a new 4th base in the top right. It's not finished yet, though. And his income is just suffering for it. BYUN ahead on income. He's got a 4th base erecting. He's got 8 barracks. He's pumping Marauders, but he did forget to rally them. A lot of idle Marauders in the main. Finally does grab those bad boys. Brings them to the front. Concussive Shells is here, as is a Ghost Academy. Ling Bane Hydra is all masked up, still looking for some sort of opportunity. BYUN distracts in the top right with a drop and immediately presses forward with the rest of his force. Oh god, the drop does get cleaned up in the top right, but that doesn't matter because BYUN has just removed Solar's map control. The creep is completely gone. This bio is way too far forward, but BYUN is like, dude, I've got so much stuff. I just want to fight because I know I can reproduce and you cannot. He's found Solar's fertility tests and they are showing negative, low chance of conception. Ling Bane Hydra coming forward, and the Baneling count may have seemed high at the start of this fight, but they are getting whittled down, and there's just an endless layer of tanks behind it. And maintaining that roughly 2-to-1 cost efficiency, always having a Marine drop active in the back as well. And I gotta say, Solar, I mean, you've been dropped into being dropped into being dropped. At what point do you leave a control group of units defending those drops? He just hasn't done it. And BYUN breaking the Hydras, the most expensive part of Solar's army. That's going to break his spirit. Solar will know losing those Hydras that is a death sentence. As the bio comes forward and BYUN maintains this position, Solar has to tap out. And that, my friends, is why you do not kill the Urubu. Zerg fans, do not despair. Onside Gaming Solar in the bottom left of Royal Blood. And he's actually one of the Zergs who does not veto this map. I'm still wondering what he's vetoed. I doubt it's altitude. I think altitude's pretty good for Zerg. But picking Neo Humanity, not vetoing Royal Blood or Babylon, I am a little bit flummoxed by Solar's choices of maps. But like I said, don't despair, because this man, Solar, used to be known for getting up 2-0 and then losing 3 games in a row. We haven't really seen too many of those crazy, oh, Solar's the unluckiest player ever memes recently. We haven't seen him eat a giant nuke. We haven't seen him lose a 2-0 advantage, lose 3 maps in a row and go out. I mean, we saw him one-sidedly, single-handedly destroy Maru. Was it 3-0 in the Gamers Without Borders qualifiers? Now, arguably, Maru was like, you know what? I'm going to do some experimental builds, try them out. I don't want to show my best play because I know I've got multiple extra chances to qualify after this. And you could argue that he kind of didn't do his most super try-hard play. It was a bit of mech, bit of crazy rushes. But in general, I mean, he does experiment with that stuff, and Solar tends to shut it down. BYUN is, of course, the opponent in front of us, though, not Maru. And BYUN is going 3 racks Reaper. On Royal Blood. Okay, so you've got a Reaper ledge there, and then out on the map you have a ledge here where the Reapers can jump up and down. But other than that, there's no other ledges anywhere on this map. So I don't know if this is the best map for it. On the other hand, it's going to be a pretty big surprise. He sees the double barracks at the front, but he won't know about the third barracks. The only moment where you usually realize this is the case as a Zerg player is when you see the 4th Reaper arrive. That's when you go, wait, this isn't just the standard 3 Reapers into transition? Oh my lord. And that's when you kind of have to hit that panic switch and hope you haven't lost too many drones early. BYUN's trying to finish this series off. Is he getting over-eager, or is he about to put Solar in the ground and just rub his face in the dirt? Solar getting ready to take that 3rd base. Standard clash opening, but he does start the Ling speed earlier. That is, of course, because he knows about the 2 Rex Reaper opening. See those Reapers pumping on out behind this. Only 2 Reapers building at a time right now, despite him having money. BYUN, a bit of a mistake on his macro there. Finally fixes that up and starts a 3rd Reaper, but did lose a fair bit of building time while microing that. Has he got any damage? 1 Zergling so far, nothing to write home about. Solar, pretty flawless on the defense so far, but the first 2 Reapers are just a probe. More the later ones that are more committed, where the Terran's going to try to force that damage to happen. This Reaper's going to rally down the right side, so it's going to delay any sort of tell of the fact that this is indeed a mass Reaper play. Does kind of pressure the Queen forwards. Those Reaper grenades doing that. Oh, BYUN almost gets the Queen. Okay, that Queen should go hide in the main base and just inject from now on. You don't want her anywhere near those Reapers. The creep is pretty good, but now being forced to mass Zerglings, seeing those 4 Reapers. Ooh, not able to get that Queen just yet. 1 Reaper did go down. The 4 Reapers are able to get 2 drones and a bunch of Zerglings. I think the Queens are the real target. One-shotting these Zerglings. A Queen goes down. If you can get the other Queen as well, that'll be big. But Ling Speed's about to kick in, as are 20 more Zerglings. BYUN gets the Queen. If BYUN can get out, that'll be huge. That's a lot of Lings popping. He's got to be careful. He doesn't have enough Reapers to one-shot Lings. They are taking 2 shots. Remember, Zergling 35 hit points. Reaper is doing 8 damage a shot to it. There's no armor involved in these calculations. So it does take 8 times 5. That's right, guys. 5 Reapers actually to one-shot Zerglings. I just did that maths and realized he did have enough to one-shot. That's why the Lings were going down so far. So 5 Zerglings is the magic number to start one-shotting those bad boys. He's still massing Reapers. He's got a command center behind this as well as a tech lab up in the main base, so we can start those stim upgrades. Mass Zergling being forced out of Solar. If BYUN can just avoid losing his Reapers and go back to macro, Solar may have a 3rd hatchery, but so what? He's only on 22 drones. Your command center is finishing up here. I think this is a very playable position for BYUN. I never really know who's ahead or behind because I think it still comes down to what these Reapers achieve. I think if the Reapers all just get surrounded and die for a few Zerglings, obviously it's a good positioning for Solar. And if the Reapers find actually a bunch of damage, maybe later on you preserve them and while you're stimming in on one base, the Reapers jump into the main and kill 10-15 drones. Obviously, it works out for BYUN, but for now, he's just chilling out, getting himself a few reactors here at the natural. He's got that tech lab upgrading in the main. Factory is almost there. And remember, this is a 2-base play. This is 3 barracks, factory, engineering bay, all on 2 base. Now he starts the 3rd command center just before the 5-minute mark. So we will be going up to the 3rd. For a second, I thought we were about to see a big old 2-base timing. That is not the case. Solar up on 34 drones finally takes the lead in the workers. He's got those triple hatcheries working, and he needs to make sure they keep on working. Drones and overlords for days. He has to close the gap economically and overtake BYUN. Otherwise, BYUN's going to be all over him in the mid game because he's already got 3 barracks with add-ons. That is a huge boost. Terran normally doesn't have this production up this early in the game. Zerg, on the other hand, where's the Bailey Nest? It doesn't exist. Evo chambers don't exist. Gases don't exist. And you might think, well, those structures aren't that expensive, Pig. Yes, they are, guys. Remember, every Zerg structure kills a drone to build it. So you can be up at 10 drones ahead of the Terran, but if you then have to start building all these different buildings, well, your worker count is at best going to stay pretty even for the next minute or two. It's not going to really be climbing when you're building all of those structures. So Solar may have an economic advantage right now, but he is quite far behind on the tech and the production, and he isn't really doing that much to rectify that. 4th base is on the way. 2nd gas starting. Baneling Nest is almost finished. Lair is very important. I really feel Baneling speed is essential. Back when everyone was rushing double Evo upgrades, Solar was the one dude who was very happy to go for quick Baneling speed. And there we go. Lair starts at 6:15. Here comes the Reaper Marine attack. Uh-oh. Waiting for medevacs, is he? Those Marines say no escape, pervert. Now, arguably, the Overlord could move down to the right and just try to move in that direction, and they might not see it escape. The medevacs coming in from that side, expecting the Overlord to be escaping. They do shoot it down. Double Evo's on the way, as well as going up to 5 gases. Only missing 1 gas in the main is Solar. Got some decent creep spread, but can he actually defend that 4th base? 7 Banelings, 45 Zerglings, and a bunch of Queens. Ooh, it's a big army. Solar should realize that's right here. That Ling Bane needs to be up here. Banelings are going to need to be useful to chase this away. 1-1 upgrades, or just +1 upgrade, sorry, is finishing. Nice Marine micro so far. You don't want to lose all these units. Oh, the Reaper grenade actually pushes the Marines out, and then the Reapers actually have to get picked up by the medevac. I thought his Reapers were just going to jump up the cliff, and the Marines were going to pick into the medevacs and get lifted. He does lose a lot of those Marines. BYUN rotates into the main base. A bit of a wild man move. I don't know how much that paid off. He is still at about 2-1 in the cost efficiency. But 3rd command center has just landed for him, whereas Solar is comfortable now droning his 4th base. Solar losing an Overlord. That Overlord looks like it should pull out. And actually, it's only 3 Marines. Barely gets out of there. BYUN chucking random grenades on the ground right now. Trying to fix up his economy back at home as well. +1 armor upgrades there. 4th and 5th barracks are building reactors. Where's the 2nd engineering bay in the armory? If BYUN doesn't go for those, he will fall behind in the upgrades because 1-1 is making for Zerg. He's going to start 2-2 after that. BYUN does not have the ability to start any future upgrades. Armory, 2nd engineering bay, go down now. Reaper Marine coming in for a bit of a run by 3 more drones. We talked about how those Reapers finding damage could put BYUN ahead in the follow-up. And they are finding some damage, but it's not free. And I don't know if he keeps F2ing or what, but those units somehow keep ending up on the control group. Sends 4 Marines to their death. One of them gets sent home to tell the others. They say, warn your friends, don't come on our territory. All the land touched by the creep is ours. If you come here, you will meet our wrath. Well, BYUN not afraid. He says, I don't care, man. Someone call an exterminator? He's coming to burn some bugs out of their home, but dude, that's a lot of Ling Bane. The Ling Bane comes in, surrounds the few Marines that can't pick up. And those siege tanks, looks like he's going to try and shuffle them forward. I love these very far back tank positions BYUN's been using in this series. Solar once again taking a far forward hatchery, gifting BYUN a very easy attack angle. Something that I'm generally very critical of. But if he can crush this push once, this is very easy to defend from harassment. Lings and Queens do move to the left. The Reaper Marine being very frustrating to deal with. Queen's going to have to turn around and fight that. And once again, the 5th base is going to get cancelled. Solar! I really struggle to understand why the Zergs always take these front bases rather than the edge ones. I guess the reason, if we think about it, is Biomine split pushing the edges on 2 sides is really hard to deal with. So if you expand up the middle, you can just focus on the frontal fights and the micro. I think that makes sense against Widow Mines, but against Siege Tanks, I don't think it makes sense. BYUN has been playing Siege Tanks rather than Widow Mines every game in this series, and it does merit an adjustment from Solar. I'd love to see him expand on the flanks of the map, try and use that space a little more, give yourself some more room away from those Siege Tanks so that you can ambush these armies as they're coming across the map. Double drop on the left, just chilling. Load, unload, over and over and over. And uh-oh, Solar's lost track of that army. He sees it coming on creep right now. Uh-oh. Cancels that base yet again. He's stuck on 4 base right now. Going mass Hydraling Bane. The numbers still look good for Solar. He's up in army supply. He has a lot of Banelings. His 2-2 is not too far behind. 4th Command Center has only just started recently for BYUN. He doesn't have a second factory. He doesn't have 8... Oh, he's actually up on 8 barracks, though. All reactors as well. Oh, BYUN's all in, guys. BYUN is going nothing but Marines, tanks. He might add a few Liberators later, but he will not have Marauders in this game. He will not be able to handle Ultras or Lurkers. He can't build Ghosts. It's about having a critical mass of Marine tank and killing the Zerg before that Hive Tech fully comes into play. If Solar realizes this and gets Lurkers and Vipers out, they will counter this. But the Hive is still 30 seconds out. No Lurker Den even begun just yet. I think he wants to play Lingbane Viper. Viper's still very good at blinding clouding the siege tanks, but he's going to need a lot of Lingbane to deal with everything else. Lingbane comes in for the backstab. BYUN stims. His units are trying to fight there, but they all get gunned down. That natural in 3rd base are both looking mighty exposed. Solar's going to focus on the 3rd. Lingbane Hydra ambushes. Ooh, but he doesn't actually get rid of that many tanks there. Probably a good pullback for Solar, but it feels painful when you're taking those tank shots. The Marines are going to stim forward. Oh my god. Oh my god. BYUN shoving on creep into these Banelings. Amazing micro by BYUN so far, but his 3rd has been ransacked. This army needs to get a bit more work done to make this worth it. He lost 23 workers at home, and oh my god, the Banelings on creep are such a problem, man. Oh my god, he's so weak. He's so weak. He's deep in the red and orange. Only 2 tanks left. Nay, 1 siege tank left, and a pack of Marines. And oh my god, there's some full medevacs here. They must have been the ones that got pulled from the left. The Reapers were in them. He's going to unload those. Is BYUN. BYUN's still up in army supply, but with only 2 siege tanks and only 1 on the front, he has to make a lot happen with very little right now. 8 Hydras, 36 Zerglings, and 25 Banelings morphing. Overlords are getting picked off, but oh, Solar's ready. Oh, nice Reaper grenades. Beautiful Reaper grenades by BYUN. Can he hold the line? The Baneling count is a little too heavy. That siege tank. Oh my god, the siege tank barely went down. Oh my god. Oh my god, BYUN's gonna get it. He's gonna 3-0 Solar. Oh, wait, the drones are being pulled. More Banelings from the south, more Banelings from the south. Solar barely hangs on right there. He does manage to hold on. He's got like 1 Baneling, 3 Hydras, and 5 Zerglings left. He's still got Lings. Oh my god, BYUN re-rallied workers down to his 3rd from his main, and natural Lings went in again and did massive damage. And that might just be enough. BYUN is down in army supply now. Vipers are on the way. Nothing but Hydra, Zergling, Baneling being built. Solar transferring workers over to his 5th base. His 4th, 5th mining. He's got a very nice army. If he can blind and cloud the tanks, it's just Lingbane, Hydra versus Marines only. And we know who wins that one. Angry Zergs in the comments saying, yeah, Terran, Marines beat everything, man. No Marauders, no Widow Mines. Tanks taken out by Blind and Cloud. That will make the Marines much weaker. Oh man, this tank position's pretty good. Viper is there with energy. Drop on the left is going to be brutal though. BYUN distracts on the right, shoves on the left. He says, no escape for you, mate. Oh, that is disgusting. Gets right in there. And there at the same time, Solar. Oh my god, he does take out the tanks with some blinding clouds. He clears up 3 tanks, takes out most of those medevacs, but he loses a lot of workers. 17, 18, 19. Oh no. Solar. Oh man, I thought he was back in this game. He's going to lose his 5th base as well. Nope, BYUN does decide to save those Marines, at least for now. Can he defend the counterattack? He's got 31 Marines, 1 siege tank producing, and that's it. 17 Banelings, 6 Hydras, 63 Zerglings, more Banelings morphing on the front. BYUN's going to try to keep distracting here by unloading on the Queen in the main base. It's just simply getting evacuated. Solar's going for it right here, right now. Hydraling Bane trying to jump on top. BYUN with some frantic spreadies. His siege tank unfortunately rallies out of his wall, which means his natural's also screwed. The Marine count's not high enough. There's too many Banelings. The Banelings are going to chase him so far from this base, the Hydras and Zerglings will kill his production. Oh man, I mean, good attention to detail even here right at the end of the day. But BYUN's natural is breached at the same time, and Solar barely hangs on and stays alive in this series. Alright guys, let's go. Map 4, Solar's back in it with a chance to win it. Top right side, Onside Gaming, Solar. Bottom left side is BYUN, and BYUN is obsessed with this opening. This man is spamming 2 racks Reaper like there is no tomorrow. Now in Babylon, he went single barracks. You might be saying, oh, you might do that here. No chance, guys. The reason is there's no ramp on this map. It would be way too risky and way too tempting for Solar to either Baneling bust him or come in with a big Ravager Zergling attack. So you see BYUN does go barracks gas, rallies the second worker down, and he's going to open up with those Reapers again. Probably just the 2 racks, the 3 racks in that last game didn't really give him an advantage. Solar hung on very well. Tail end of that game looked like Solar was kind of slipping up a little bit with his defense of the multi-prong. What I want to see from Solar this game is a little bit of scouting to check if it's Widow Mines or tanks, because oh, BYUN's going to go 3 racks Reaper again? Oh man, this might be gifting Solar a chance back in this game. He defended it pretty well last time. I mean, BYUN did get 2 queen kills. Yeah, and he kept the Reapers alive and used them pretty well later on. Crazy to do this 2 games in a row. Anyways, once we get to the mid game, I would like Solar to check, because if it is Siege Tank style again, I was going to say you don't want to take the front base, but actually on this map, I don't know if he takes the front base anyway. Like, I doubt he goes 3rd and then just takes this 4th. He'll probably take the 3rd or 4th here and kind of expand more in a sort of triangle, taking the top right corner of the map. So I think this map doesn't really have one of those forward bases like the last couple of maps, Neo Humanity, having a very dangerous forward base, as does Royal Blood. And both of those getting denied in this series were big turning points where I think if Solar, you know, kept those hatcheries alive a little longer, it'd be a very different game. Okay, drone does take some damage. Not the best focus fire for BYUN on that drone. He's looking more for the Zergling kills than anything. Second Reaper will be arriving soon. Solar knows what's up. Solar went in with the Overlord. He sees no command center. No command center at 2 minutes 20, 2 minutes 30 means they must be doing 3 racks Reaper. And already 6 more Zerglings start. So Solar's realizing, okay, I know what you're doing. He's going 4 queens. He's going 6 more Zerglings. He's trying to focus the weak Reapers there as best as he can. And it looks like he went for an inject in the main base. And he's going to go Creep Shoomer on the natural Lings and Queens coming forward. Trying to push back these Reapers. That Reddit Point Reaper did have its combat drugs interrupted there. Solar's going to try to focus that if it comes in range. Combat drugs finally kicking in. And BYUN, he's looking for more damage. Oh my gosh, so risky. 3 Reapers building at a time. Command Center only goes down now here at 3 minutes 10. It's a very late Command Center with the 3 racks Reaper. That's because you have to go second gas to support 3 racks Reaper production. Reapers are hanging out here, realizing denying the 3rd is huge. So I don't know why Solar didn't move out to take a 3rd this game. Maybe because he realized what was happening, what the build was. He hasn't lost many units yet. Queen does almost have a transfuse, about 10 seconds away from getting his first transfuse. The second one only a few seconds behind that. Different uses of second there. Second place, as in second a measurement of time. Anyways, Queen's here. Ooh, gonna lose a Creep Tumor. He's got another one behind it. Not too bad for Solar. That's a lot of Reapers though. 10 Reapers, but Ling Speed's here. 20 more Zerglings on the way. Solar is overcommitting to Zerglings, and he's gonna look for the surround. He is absolutely looking for that surround right now. Yeah, BYUN is wisely gonna back off and stop building Reapers. Go Tech Lab, go Reactor, and keep your Reapers alive, because if you ever lose these Reapers, you're in trouble. Now notice you might think there's no ledges here. Why is he here? It's because he can get in this corner where only a few Lings can attack him at a time, and he can just drop grenades in a sort of semicircle out front his formation to stop the Zerglings from really getting any surface area at all. He's going to go after that 3rd hatchery. Oh, he's going to get it. But no, he doesn't focus it. The Lings come in from 2 sides. Oh, Solar with a beautiful surround here. He's going to get every single Reaper down. Let's see how those grenades, can those grenades at least kill a lot of the Zerglings? They're doing pretty well, those grenades. Good micro by BYUN. Makes the best of a terrible situation. But at the end of the day, that's 10 Reapers for 30 Zerglings. Great trade for Solar. However, 3rd Command Center is almost finished. Worker count is even. That's not good for Zerg. So killing the Reapers is good. If you could get rid of these reactors, it would be amazing. But I feel this happens every time recently. Whenever Solar gets to the other side of the map, it goes from 1 Marine, where you could easily just sacrifice 1 or 2 Zerglings to kill both these reactors. It would be huge. 5 Marines, though, gets to that point where they're going to be able to start 2-shotting your Zerglings, killing them pretty quickly, and it's not really worth committing like that. So Solar, unfortunately not able to counterattack BYUN, but he does get a quick 4th hatchery, and I love to see that. 3rd base has got 8 workers on it. He's building 9 more at a time. The supply looks terrible for Terran. It looks appallingly bad. And the worker count's starting to get back to a more healthy situation for the Zerg as well. But remember the production situation. 3 command centers are up, double engineering bays up, 4th and 5th barracks is started. He is ahead on the infrastructure. Lair has not started. Solar's going to go double Evo chamber, so he's going to delay the baneling speed this game. And that's absolutely okay, especially since he's going up to 2nd and 3rd gas now. It does mean, though, remember the 6-minute lair starting means, you know, you're pretty late on that baneling speed. This is going to be like a 7-minute lair. We're not going to have baneling speed till 9.5 minutes against a big ball of Marines. 1-1 upgrades are starting. They're only about 20 seconds behind. That is good. But the moment Solar hits 100 gas, he needs to make a lair. Let's go to Solar's vision. He's at 100 gas right now. 6 minutes 20, it's 100 gas. Instantly starts the lair. Look at that focus. Man, Solar's very, very good. He realizes, yep, with this build, I need to, like, it's late already. I need to go straight lair into the baneling nest, make bane speed as soon as that lair's done, and hopefully just survive until then. Looks like just light medevac pressure for it now. Once again, siege tanks are on the way for BYUN. Okay, he's just obsessed with Marine Tank today. I feel like this map is nowhere near as good for tanks as it is for Widow Mines. It's a big map, but BYUN is a creature of habit. I mean, we've talked for years about how BYUN likes to do the same thing over and over again anytime it's possible. That Zergling being annoying, but the rally does clean it up. These Marines stim in. They take out the creep out front. 1 queen goes down, and a hot pickup boosts right past it to the main base. Aggressive drop pods here for BYUN. Finds himself an Overlord. Very nice plays. Most of the Overlords are off to the left in the dead space, and actually, Solo scrambles quickly enough to save that Overlord as well. Really well played. 10 more drones are on the way. Solo's going up above 80 workers right now. That's a big boy economy. And remember, BYUN's been following up with pretty aggressive pushes. He's still only on 5 barracks. He's been going 8 barracks and 4th command center, or sometimes just straight 8 barracks in these games. Ooh, Marines coming in. They grab 2 drones. Queens do push them back. A couple Spore Crawlers might be desired in this base. BYUN microing his medevac's incredibly weird there. It's like he couldn't decide if he wanted to unload or not. 2 more drones are being built. Solar steady on 80 workers. He's looking for a hatchery down the bottom as well. That 5th base has been a little delayed. Very important he gets that up. For now, it's mass Ling Bane 1-1's there. Baneling speed is 30 seconds out, guys. If he does not get Baneling speed, he's screwed. He's got to just buy time with this battle. 20 seconds remaining, and he should definitely be able to buy that time. Solar really should be able to. Mass Zergling backstab in the south is going to hit that 3rd. Really nicely done. BYUN pushes quite far forward. Solar has to buy another 15-20 seconds. Sorry, I got my times wrong, guys. It was 40 seconds earlier, then 30, now 20. 15 seconds remaining. He needs that baneling speed. 5 SCVs go down. The Lings are coming back. The Queens are getting shelled on. Solar needs a few more seconds. He doesn't have a flank really set up just yet. That siege tank gets a few shots off. Baneling speed is almost here, and it's here. Combat shields finishes at the same time. BYUN's tank's in a very aggressive spot. This tank will go down whenever Solar chooses to take it, but it's how badly cost inefficient will you be taking out the other tank and pushing those Marines away. Solar needs to make up his mind to go sooner rather than later. If he doesn't pull the trigger soon, he's in trouble. His Ling Bane is terribly positioned there. Oh no, those units were meant to flank from the top left from over here, but instead he moves them up so they all get stuck on that corner. Bad positioning for Solar, and now, oh my god, BYUN is shoving it on both sides. Solar F2'd his whole army to the bottom right. He's a little slow to split, and that means this tank is getting crazy damage. Sergeant Chadhammer, she gets 29 kills. The hatchery goes down in the bottom right. A lot of the Marines do go down in the bottom right. That is good for Solar, but he's still letting this position sit here, and I feel Solar has had enough units to clear these pushes up, but there's a paranoia setting in. Because BYUN's pushes have been so scary in these games, Solar may be losing situational awareness. He's got to jump on top of this. Ling Bane trying to get on it. Nice siege tank shots. Chadhammer's going to go down, but not before she takes a lot of Zerg with her. 43 kills, I believe that was, before she went down. She got one last shot off as she died on a pack of Zerglings. That was beautiful play by that siege tank, and she'll no doubt have a place in the Terran Hall of Fame for her. 4th command center, 2nd factory, and now 3 more barracks. BYUN is going to progress into the next stage of the game while continuing to attack. Siege tank and a few Marines on the south. Solar just cannot get a 5th base up for the life of him. He's really got to keep his army split here. This is a problem Solar's been having, is not splitting his army. Now he splits it. That's a little bit better. There we go. Main army's bottom right. He's got this squad in the top left. Still unable to get that medevac. This medevac's so annoying. You know, I had a player, you know, who's newer to StarCraft say, why does Zerg just not build anything other than Queens that shoots up? Like, what the hell? And the thing is, if you give Solar another minute to get established, he would probably like to build Hydralisks, But in this stage, you're just fighting to survive. Ooh, Sporkriller takes out a full medevac. Nice pickup. He's got a queen there as well. And that's going to do a fair bit of damage. Those medevacs hiding in the back. BYUN gathering up his forces to push the front again. Now, the thing is, guys, BYUN is playing mass marine tank. This army, unlike Widow Mines, can always be defeated even by a smaller Zerg army if you flank this army. Backstabbing it, surrounding it, and flanking it are the best ways to deal with this army. But if you attack from the front, I would say it gets about a plus 50% strength bonus. Solar needs to split some Lingbane to come from a different angle. If he can sandwich this, he can crush it. But look at this. He lets BYUN take position because he has so little map control. He doesn't see it till it's here. He's got these units coming in, though. But look at those tanks in reserve. Nice setup by BYUN, realizing the front tank is basically just a bait, and then the Zerg pumps up like crazy, trying to get at these other siege tanks. BYUN is never going to win a battle entirely with one of these armies, but he's just looking for the cost efficiency, and he is finding it. He's ahead 4,000 resources in that units lost. Not the craziest for Zerg versus Terran, but definitely respectable, since it is a fourth base up and mining for the Terran, and the fifth has not finished building for the Zerg. Marines get in the main base. 5 drones do go down. 1 more medevac falls. This is the same triple drop that zoomed by before. Keeps just zigging and zagging, dropping over and over again in that main base. Solar's on top of it now. He's got Viper's adrenal glands. He's got a few Hydras coming out. Hydra upgrades are on the way as well. He's queued up both of those. He's not maxed though, whereas BYUN is getting there. And BYUN's also adding Widow Mines now. As I said, Widow Mines is going to be way better against Lingbane on this map. That drop will get cleaned up. BYUN, no, even there, he saves 5 Marines and redrops in the main. So hard to deal with this for Solar and keep up with the pace, but he's attacking around a corner again. And once again, I got to reiterate what I said before, guys. You need to attack from multiple sides. Even just one siege tank is so deadly. If you attack around a corner, that Widow Mine left a bloody smear of Zerg on the ground where that army used to be. And that is way too many units Solar's losing for it. BYUN redrops the bottom right. The Marine drop in the main finally gets cleared up, and he is right now routing Solar's 4th base. Uh-oh, that's actually his 3rd even. The Widow Mine does get a few nice shots off. A couple Zerglings going down. Solar is scrambling to survive, but it just feels like BYUN has no pressure on him all game long. Imagine a few Lings and Banes rolling into these middle lines. Anything to take BYUN's attention away from dropping and microing everything perfectly, because right now BYUN is picking where and when the fights happen, and he is taking Solar to Diddletown. Solar didn't realize he was going to get diddled today. He thought I was playing a StarCraft show match as a professional StarCraft player. He didn't realize it was going to involve BYUN just slapping him in the face with a bag of Terran bloody guns over and over again. Widow Mine does go off, takes out a bunch of Banelings, Hydras, and Banes. There's just not enough of them. Solar is outmanned and outgunned here. I think he had a good enough start that he could have done this. But BYUN is just non-stop in his face. And if you let BYUN exert that mechanical will on you, he will crush. GG, well played.